The Cleveland Browns were one of, if not the most disappointing teams in the NFL this season. Fresh off of a playoff appearance and a playoff win against the Steelers, things were looking very bright for 2021. After a good offseason and a great draft, the Browns were ready to assert themselves as a powerhouse in the AFC. Needless to say, after an 8-9 season, that didn't happen. Although this season did come with its fair share of injuries, especially on the offensive side of the ball, it was clear that the Browns' defense was constantly coming into question. The Browns still have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL, and with 8 picks in this upcoming draft, they could really balance out their depth and take care of some problematic areas. So without further ado, here is my full 7-round Cleveland Browns 2022 mock draft. With the Cleveland Browns' first pick in the draft at number 13 overall, I have them taking Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from Ohio State. When Odell Beckham was brought in, he was supposed to be Baker Mayfield's go-to option. With that experiment over and Mayfield and Beckham seemingly never on the same page, the Browns should start fresh with a dynamic, game-changing, X-Factor receiver. Garrett Wilson has the run-after-the-catch ability to potentially score on every single play. In a crowded Ohio State receiving room in 2021, Wilson produced 70 catches for 1,058 yards and 12 touchdowns, while averaging 15.1 yards per carry. While his game will translate best to playing in the slot in the NFL, Wilson can play out wide and has displayed the type of ball skills and separation skills to be a stud all over the field. Wilson could automatically become Baker Mayfield's go-to option. With the Cleveland Browns' next pick at number 44 overall, I have them taking Myjai Sanders, edge rusher from Cincinnati. The Browns have one of the most dominant pass rushers in the game in Myles Garrett. But behind Garrett are 3 unrestricted free agents in Jadeveon Clowney, Takk McKinley, and Ifeadi Odenigbo. Sanders offers fantastic size, and he is known for his explosive first step and ability to jump the snap. Sanders' stats won't wow you from this past season, as he was consistently met with double teams and crack blocks all season. Sanders put up just 2.5 sacks this past year, but is a season removed from putting up 7 sacks in 10 games in 2020. Sanders' long arms and big frame make him even more disruptive in the pass game, as he deflected 11 balls at the line of scrimmage since the beginning of 2020. Lining up Sanders across from Garrett could provide him with a ton of one-on-one matchups, and with his natural athleticism, that could pose a serious problem for the opposition. With the Browns' next pick at number 78 overall, I have them taking Tyler Davis, defensive tackle from Clemson. Despite his smaller frame at 6'2", 300 pounds, Tyler Davis plays with unique first-step quickness and great leverage. Davis isn't really known for his pass rushing prowess, although he did have 5.5 sacks in 2019. What he is most well known for is his stout run defending, and incredibly high motor. Davis uses his smaller stature to his advantage, dropping his weight into his lower half and driving up through his blockers. Malik McDowell and Malik Jackson are both entering free agency, with the latter half going into his age 33 season. Getting younger and more stout against the run should be a priority for the Browns this offseason, and Davis would be a nice place to start. With the Browns' next pick at number 104 overall, I have them taking Leo Chanal, linebacker from Wisconsin. This past season, Chanal established himself as one of the most complete and productive linebackers in the Big Ten. Not only did Chanal lead the Badgers in total tackles, he also led them in sacks from the inside linebacker position, with 8. One of the scariest parts of Chanal's game is his hit power. If he hits you square, you'll definitely feel it the next day. Chanal doesn't relinquish his technique for his hit power though, as he is a sure tackler along with being a mauler. While he could refine his game a little bit more in zone coverage, you won't find someone who plays with more competitiveness on every snap, and his motor is endless and his pursuit is relentless. Anthony Walker and Malcolm Smith are both free agents, and Chanal can really cover up the middle of the field while allowing Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and Sione Takitaki to play off the ball and make plays. With the Browns' next pick at number 115 overall, I have them taking Kobe Bryant, cornerback from Cincinnati. I know the Browns secondary already boasts Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and Greedy Williams. But similar to the wide receiver position, you could never have too many good cornerbacks on your roster. It's easy to overlook Bryant while his fellow cornerback, Sauce Gardner, is a bona fide star. But make no mistake about it, Bryant is a productive cornerback that displays good instincts in zone coverage and can play press when he's in man. Bryant has produced 10 interceptions while deflecting 35 passes in his time at Cincinnati. In zone coverage, Bryant plays at a distance, but is quick to break on shorter routes and end the play for no yards after the catch. Bryant is a good athlete with great instincts and could add some valuable depth for the Browns at one of football's most important positions. With the Browns' next pick at number 153 overall, I had them taking Donovan West, center from Arizona State. Cleveland's offensive line is one of the best in the league. If there was one weak spot when they were a healthy, full unit, it had to be center. J.C. Tretter's contract is up after 2022, so it could be possible that the Browns try and develop a center to replace Tretter. At the very least, West can provide solid depth for the Browns line that is lacking depth behind both guard positions and center. West has been strong in pass protection at his time in Arizona State, where the Browns definitely lacked this past season. West has a slender frame for a lineman, but has more than enough strength to get the job done. Like I said, at the very least, the Browns get a quality backup, and at the very most, they have their next center of the future. With the Browns' next pick at number 193 overall, I have them taking Isaiah Paulo Mao, safety from USC. Paulo Mao is a rare asset in the passing game. His outstanding instincts against the pass consistently put him around the football. He has been an extremely productive player who is somehow always around the ball, putting up 73 tackles and 4 interceptions in his best season. He is athletic enough to drop down and cover in the slot, thereby giving the defense more flexibility. When the ball is in the air, he will get his hands on the football in some way, shape, or form. The safety position could definitely use a boost, with MJ Stewart and Ronnie Harrison impending free agents. Paulo Mao would be a great find in the 6th round. With real big play potential, he could contribute immediately. And with the Browns' last pick at number 220 overall, I had them taking Velus Jones Jr., wide receiver from Tennessee. Jones comes with a heck of a lot of college football experience, as he is finally entering the draft after 6 collegiate seasons. Jones is coming off his best receiving season of his career, with 62 catches for 807 yards and 7 touchdowns. Not only can Jones contribute as a slot receiver at the next level, but he's also a great kick returner. Getting a wide receiver in the 7th round that could add that much value to your team is worth taking a shot on. In the passing game, Jones is good, but his route tree was a little limited at Tennessee. In that area, he could be more of a developmental prospect. With that being said, Jones could still contribute right away due to his excellent return skills.